Well, it is mid-July and the heat is sticking with us and the plants are starting to take hold and grow and come alive. So I thought I'd do a little tour today. I'm holding a tomato I just picked from my upstairs bedroom. It could probably have gone another day, but I wanted to show you him. Isn't he lovely? So we'll start with the raised beds. I currently have 11 raised beds. Then we'll look at the upper area, I call it, which is a hodgepodge, like all of my garden really. And then the newer area where mostly potatoes are planted. I recently showed my strawberry bed, but I've got a beauty here that I want to capture on camera in case somebody else gets it before me. The garlic is definitely a week behind. I've checked back in my videos, but it is starting to produce. There's scapes. This is porcelain music garlic, and those that are here look great. They're a good size. Some of them, I've got all kinds of sizes here, but they're looking beautiful. So that's 2 beds of garlic. This is the slowest I've ever seen. This is probably the sugar snap piece. It's the slowest I've ever seen them take off, but they're coming into their own now. Just a few probably being eaten here of my white turnips. Cabbage. These are green onions. We'll eat those up soon. This cabbage and this broccolini, burgundy broccolini, were winter sown. That means that I put them in a lettuce container and left them out in the snow, and they just grew on their own. I am so pleased with those. I've mentioned that many times. So, been pulling out my bunching onions. There's not many left. Here's another one gone to seed, so I'll take these out. Celery's slow this year. I know it will catch up. I have faith in it. Broccoli rab, or rapini, just scattered here, it looks like. Some form of squash. No longer know what squash. All my squash died, so I stuck seeds in. So I couldn't tell you at all what's what where. We'll see, and the surprise will be great. That carrot I did not plant, so self-seeded something or other. Some Brussels sprouts okay here. They've been taken out in other beds by the mice. We have some lettuce, cabbage. Leeks are all looking great, and the carrots are behind them looking very good also. A strawberry plant randomly grew there. So though this bed looks sparse like all of them, they're just now coming up, and I will monitor. I've put in some extra seeds of succession plants, and we'll just see what happens there, like I do every year. Okay, this bed, same thing. Lost squash. I lost squash everywhere. But there's a plant coming. My parsnips are all along the back here. It's got some misses, but that's okay. That's actually going to, because I have some in the upper bed too, so there's going to be plenty of parsnips for us. These leeks, looking lovely. Love my leeks. They'll be just fantastic when they come. Everything, these bunching onions are all bolting. Unusual year. The heat is, it's 26 degrees today. We've had hot weather, just went from cold to hot, and it's affecting some things. I randomly put some corn in here, and Hopefully it'll do well and I can just wrap it around it with string here if I need to. In this row is my Swiss chard. Winter sowings again are so much healthier than anything else I have. So this would be a zucchini, I assume, since I stuck it in the middle of the bed. Because the winter squash I stick at the outskirts. Like that one must be a winter squash. These are my grow bags. I need to water. I've put 2 squash plants in each. And I've also, just for fun, put some kohlrabi. My peas to be potted are doing exceptional. They're just doing wonderful, looking beautiful. This is the purple peas. Purple peas are beautiful, but you have to harvest them when they're prime. Don't let them go past. Don't let anything go past prime, or it's just not as good. So I've got 2 broccolinis. I've got the purple one I just showed you, and oh, look at this little fella. Bye-bye. Oh my goodness, 2 of them. Hang on. Yeah. Got lots of these. Oh, I can't even get it. There it is. Hi guys, come with me. Bye-bye guys. So, yeah, the broccolini, I've got artwork and what's the other one called? Burgundy. Really loving them because I think they'll do better for me than broccoli ever does. Broccoli's fine. I mean, I've had some beautiful harvests, but I went with the broccolini this year especially, and they're doing, like, I'm going to start harvesting these. I've got succession plants. I'm really pleased with those. This is just, no, that's a leek. But these are just spring onions or green onions. They'll come out very soon. They look ready. Squash. These bunching onions are this is from my local hardware store. They always do better. And there isn't a single one bolted in those type. This squash my girlfriend gave me. Thank you, Patsy. They're going over. That's gone. Give that to the mouse. All the females came, but no male flowers. 1 male flower, but he was too early. So, none of these are getting pollinated, but take its time. I'm got some snail action on everything, so the pak choi always isn't doing grand. I don't know why I grow it, really. This would be a winter squash. There's a parsnip there, that's odd. And my globe artichoke, this one's looking the best, I think. Brussels sprouts, a few garlic over here, and then carrots in between. And then some winter squash on the sides. I love growing winter squash. They're not always have the full season here, but I get such a thrill out of seeing what I can get. Now my tomatoes, the poor things. So I have various stages of plants trying to survive. So you can see here, this one hasn't been growing, everything died off, but each year I do this, and it's surprising. They do produce, so I'm not giving up on them. There's another one, died back, and this is all that's left. Not giving up on it. This one's doing really well. So I no longer know what they are. That one over there doesn't look too bad. We'll just see the surprise. Here's some runner beans. And that's just for looks. I'm not a big fan of runner beans. I just find that they're just tough and horrible. However, they're beautiful. And some nasturtiums in between. I'm hoping I'm seeing some... I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe. Basil. Mine died off. Didn't survive. So I'm hoping some of the seeds do. I've got to get this guy in. What is it? What is this? Oh, a sun gold. I do love the sun gold, so I've got to get him planted today. You can see where the tomato plants have taken such a hit, but I'm hoping they produce. This fellow is producing. That's a sun gold. And he's hung in there. Way to go. Way to go. Way to go. So there's lots of tomatoes. They will produce. There's a little wee cucumber. Ooh, what's eating him? Flea beetles or something? Again, these are the hardware store bunching onions that are better than the more expensive ones I bought. I have onions all around this tomato bed. So, in time, I just pull onions as I need them. This is the beans. I've never had such a poor bean year. But, take what we get. So there's a mix of all my beans here. And then in this area, as I've shown before, I have oh, there's one coming up. I've reseeded, but what was so funny, I was, for the third time, putting seeds in here. There's a few others coming up. And the seeds went, boop, right down, right through. So, I don't know, I wasn't thinking, I guess I was just confused. But then I came out one day, now I've plugged it now. And this is a hole that goes right down. I've plugged it, oh look, look. Okay, see that? So this whole area, some rodent is in here. Now I'm going to let him be because I don't need him to go elsewhere in my beds. But he's created tunnels here that's made nothing grow. And in fact, every time I put seeds in, 3 times now, I think I'm just feeding him. You know, I'm just dropping beans down for his winter hoard, I guess. So, at some point I'm going to have to dig this all out, but I'm going to leave him be right now because he's just going to attack somewhere else. I don't know, let me know your thoughts. This is my poor peppers. It's embarrassing. We had so many, I had, not we, death of plants. I'd sown all types of things in here. Oh look, cutworm. Cutworm took out a radish. See that? Wow, I've got cutworms this year. Not, like, pretty bad. So here's a pepper plant, healthy going in. He's trying. God love him. There's some kind of tomato over there. I've stuck seeds all over. We'll see what happens. Some pepper plants did better. Particularly, actually, the hot wax and one other. What was it? I can't remember. This was from indoors. Threw it here. Flipped the pot over. Cracked this plant before I even planted it. But I've left it, and he's trying to still grow. The other one is growing. A little bit of sunburn there. So, oh, mixed bag. Get what I get here and I'll be fine. Squash, no idea why one leaf is completely yellow. Let me know your thoughts. There's a lovely looking, I guess that's the zucchini since I stuck it in the middle. Not so great looking, I have a couple of them but I don't know where they are now. Eggplants in here, but they're doing way better in the leeks. Again, an indoor tomato and pepper plants that I pulled from indoors. Another not so well, but he's trying to sprout more leaves. So this bed, I've scattered all types of carrot seeds and looks like radishes here, some onions. So mixed bag in this bed for sure, just because of things are not doing well. We'll see what else I can produce there. This is the bed of the mouse. So he has taken out 2 very healthy, planted in February. I mean February, really. The time you put into things. of Brussels sprouts. Now this one's actually surviving. But taking out all my brassicas in this bed. Mice love brassicas. They will particularly hunt those out in my garden. There's a squash. That's actually the little pumpkin one. What do you call that? Jack-be-little. The celery plants, again, they're all so far behind. I know they'll catch up. Some of these leeks are far behind. They will also catch up. No worries about those. Long way to go. There's some broad beans and more peas. The pod peas. Now here's my onions. Because of the crazy cold snap to heat, I don't normally get bolted onions from sets, but I have 3 here. I have to pull these out. And that doesn't normally happen in my climate. I know a lot of people have problems with that, but I don't. However, I get it. When you go from straight cold to heat, they think they have to do something different and produce seed. So actually there's 4 now. Ew. Now here I've just planted every year now for 3 years. This will be the 4th year that I do carrots in buckets for my winter indoors. So I will bring these into the garage probably early December. I think I got 22 to 25 seeds in this time. I did make sure I counted. I have overseeded, but I had the nice pelleted seeds, so I was able to count them this time. They'll sit here till the 1st of December or whatnot when I bring them into my garage, which we will then eat these, January, February, March, possibly April. What's up? Who's scaring you? What's wrong? Who's here? Is there a cat here? Is there a cat here? I have a crow going mental for like, I don't know, 15 minutes now. Now, this sad state of affairs is the spoon tomatoes that I thought were a tiny plant that I grew indoors. They're massive. I've put 2 plants out here. And they're so cute. I probably will never grow these again. Let me find some here. Because they're crazy. But look at those little things. Aren't they cute? These were the 2 birdhouse gourd plants that I was growing inside. I started them in April just to see if the seeds were viable. They were, and I didn't have the heart to just take them out and kill them. So I kept them growing. They became monsters. I had company coming. Just as with the spoon tomatoes, I had to take them out of my living room. It was crazy to have these from April. They were huge plants by then. They were producing flowers. I was trying to pollinate them, but nothing was catching. Well, so I threw them. I had my son take them outside. We threw them out here. Then my husband came out and wanted to mow the lawn, said, move these away. And I asked my son to throw them down here. And they have, in fact, fended for themselves. There's now so many little birdhouse gourds coming everywhere. But what is... I really think they're getting pollinated. I'm not 100% sure. Time will tell. I call these my Dianas. And, oh gosh, love them. This one, I don't know. I'll go hunting for possible birdhouse gourds when the time comes. What a mess. Now, the herb garden area is in its first year stages. But I'm already loving how it looks. It's already giving me pleasure. We have some driveway construction going on, so that's why that's in my driveway. But the flowers are doing flower things. I have no idea what this plant's called, but we love it, and it blooms all season. Just doesn't stop. It's lovely. And the irises are out. The lilies are soon to come out. And some flowers have already come and gone. Nice mix. The potatoes are all starting to bloom. Every single plant has a flower on it, so it's about to bloom. I have to go back in my records. It seems a bit early, considering that we're pretty much a week behind in everything. This part of the new bed has some winners that are looking okay. Some losers that are being ravished. But I keep sticking seeds all over. So in the end, what I have here, I don't really know. Could be bush beans, could be squash, some surviving cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower I think I even have here, and this is a Brussels sprout, which fortunately has survived because mice have taken out a lot of mine. Here is the corn. I'd like to see it a little darker green, but maybe that's what it's supposed to be. That was second seeding because the first ones were taken out, and it is, I had to start them indoors to get them to a size where the birds weren't going to pick them out. I have a zucchini over there, and some little squash has just come up. We'll see what that is, or if he survives the slugs. So that's a globe artichoke. It's some form of squash, eaten alive, managed to survive. There's a few. It's a broccoli. It's a cabbage not doing grand. So a little bit of everything. Not sure why there's even a lettuce leaf here, because I'm sure I didn't plant lettuce there. But the potatoes look wonderful. So we have to take the win-wins. They're looking good. Okay, what I don't know, call my upper bed, for lack of better words. There's my peas starting to flower, do well. That's just a last year's kale going to seed, a curly kale. I have onions all around that was just spare little ones. And so they will be little onions, but that's okay. They'll be edible and great. See how small they are? Then there's some lettuce, and of course lots of weeds up here. This is weed heaven here. Oh, wow, in 2 days that has bolted. Isn't that interesting? How fast? So, lettuce, beets, still having problems with the beets. I have resowed, we'll see what happens. Then I have some cabbage, some broccolini. The early beets that did take, fine. The rest are hopefully just coming up here. Random onion, random cilantro. Everything goes to seed with cilantro. Some squash and onions. This sage plant I was going to pull out. I'm glad I didn't. It's doing well. I thought it was dead. Now this bed is basically just onions, alliums. So I've got regular onions in between, and on either side is leeks. So there should be a good haul of leeks for me this year. This little bunch here is rutabaga and onions. Oh, and a globe artichoke doing well there, actually. So yeah, I think they're looking good. This little patch, I've obviously gone around with my seeds and stuck some squash in and a globe artichoke. Onions are liking it up here, which is great. There's lots of squash and carrots. Wait, there's carrots all down the side here, and then some extra parsnips here. Again, some misses, but for Bruce and I, that should be great. This came, I had quite a few of these. I threw most of them out with the soil, bag soil. Never had this before, but these were growing in the bag soil. So I kept one and thought, well, let's just see what it is. Like, I didn't even know if it was some horrible invasive plant. I don't know. Anywho, looks like some, I don't know what it is. But I thought I'd let that one go. These are obviously too close. The weeds up here in this field is madness. Here's more broad beans. All looking great. And in between all the broad beans, I stuck corn. Don't know why. We'll see how that does. I just figured it would be nice hidden in there, and it seems to be happy. It's everywhere in here, so we'll see. I think that might work. I just left some radishes to go to seed. Now this patch, the other half, I showed you that half, is another hodgepodge of green onions, regular onions. I don't even know what that madness is. What is that? Oh, I just broke it. That's a crazy radish. That must be a winter radish that I must have planted early. So little baby onions, things that I will use all in my cooking. There's the mosh and the purple sprouting, again, winter sowing. Wow, I'm sold. I'm so sold on the winter sowing. Just beat everything. Now we've had some damage, I showed in another video. The cut, look, oh boy. Anyway, they were beautiful plants, but the cutworm got them. Oh, apparently slugs are just devouring now too. Look at the glistening. They do prey on plants that are dying, don't they? Artwork broccolini, and the burgundy broccolini. Really, think I'm going to enjoy those. We'll see when I taste them. I haven't even tasted them yet. So there's a Brussels sprout in there, some form of squash. That's a Brussels sprout that does not like where he is because he hasn't grown at all. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. But it's finally starting to grow. I'm very happy. We had no spring. Unusually zero spring. But the heat is here. We gardeners can finally get happy to see plants grow. So take care. We'll see you soon. So fish are out there.